Well, good afternoon once again. We have now the Junior Nations Cup to bring you. Of course, we have had the children's and ponies categories already today, both of those being won by Team Norway, and they'll field a team in this junior category as well. This being the fifth leg of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series for juniors, taking place here in Drammen in Norway. Your four teams contesting this competition this afternoon are Denmark, followed by Finland, and then Sweden, and finally Norway round things out in our drawn order. They'll go in reverse order of placings from round one in round two. The highest ranked team in the overall season standings that we have in today's competition is Sweden, who were the winners in Compiègne in France and placed fifth at Centaur Park. Meanwhile, the Norwegian team sit in 13th place. This is only their second appearance of the season. Finland sit in 18th again. It's their second appearance of the season. And it's a debut. Denmark sit in 17th. Having jumped at 2 legs so far. But Denmark will kick things off for us in this competition. Their chef to keep once again is Ulrik Kjær. And their first rider is Cornelie Katarine Christensen with Isaac. Course once again has been set by Bart Bonk and Uni Gustafsson. Cornelie just then jumps the oxer at fence 2 before tackling this double at fence 3, an oxer and then an upright, just separated by 1 stride. Gets a bit deep to the oxer at fence 4, so down that comes before a left-handed swing all the way back around to the upright at 5. The water jump now comes at fence 6, safely over there. Short distance then to fence 7, before they then swing left-handed once again around to the triple bar at 8. And then left-handed turn again to the middle of the arena, 9A, B and C. 1 stride and then 2. Before we then have this final line of 10, 11 and 12. 3 individual fences but closely packed. So just 4 strides down to 11 and then 6 from 11 to 12. Cornelie Katarine Christiansen then comes home just with 4 penalties. So we move on now to Finland, team led by Markus Backlund, and their first rider is Vera Salminen with Pure Joy 3. The Finnish team finished in the children's competition well, placing second earlier on today. Also comes home with a score of 4 then, only the 4 to add for Vera Salminen and Pure Joy 3. So on to Sweden now then. Their first rider in is Carl-Hugo Westergren. Carl-Hugo rides the Garda de Grevis. And this is a team led by Anna Clara Patterson. Sure, if you've been following this Nations Cup series in previous years, you will definitely recognise Carl-Hugo's name. He rode at the European Championships in 2022 in the children's category. But he's been a regular fixture on the Nations Cup circuit. He jumped at Centaur Park in the junior category earlier on this year, helping the team to a 5th place finish and just dropping 1 pole per round. Also jumped here in Drammen at last year's running of this event with this horse and jumped a double clear to help the Swedish team to 2nd. Well, 1 pole left for Carl-Hugo Westergren, and it stays up. A brilliant time as well of 63.71, de Garda de Grevis. And Carl-Hugo Westergren coming home with that clear round. Great start for the Swedish team. So the final team to start then will be for Norway, the home team, looking to make it 3 wins today. Their first rider is Ingrid Sante Björklund with Stadebarns Cornwell. Ingrid is a 3-time European Championship competitor in the junior category for the past 3 years. Those were with the horse Airy Z. She also competed in the Junior Grand Prix here last week and finished 5th. But she also develops some young horses as well, been working to develop some 5- and 6-year-old horses. Stadebarns Cornwell, though, is a 14-year-old gelding and is one that she's partnered for a good few years now. And it's a solid start. The final pole jumps in the cups but stays in there. It's going to be 4 for Norway for Ingrid Sante Björklund and Stadebarns Cornwell. Well, we go back to Denmark now then. Their second rider is Malu Therese Mulberg Larsen with Champagne KS. Again, another former European Championship rider with this very horse. And she jumped at the Nations Cup final last year as well, again with this horse. And has also been jumping down in Herning in Denmark. Well comes home with a score of 8 for Marie-Therese Mulberg-Larsen. So back to Finland now. Their second rider is Nella Meyer with Janina van het Gotteringen-Veld. Again, a combination from the Junior Europeans last year. And this pair placed 8th in the Junior Grand Prix here last week. They've jumped in good few Junior Grand Prix together. This horse is a 15-year-old mare now, so pretty established and confident combination. Well, Nell Mera with Janina van het Gotteringen-Veld comes home with a score of 4 for Finland. It has them in a fairly strong position, but of course we have 2 riders still to come. Even if they both jump clear, the minimum score for the Finnish team is 4. Back to Sweden now. Their second rider is Alice Rosenqvist. With Forever de Saint-Éloi. This is this combination's first call up for the Nations Cup team, but they've been jumping the in-between classes prior to this. Fairly successfully placed 3rd in Compiègne in the individual competition. Travelled here to Drammen to jump another team class. Just had 1 pole down over 2 rounds. Forever de Saint-Éloi is a 9-year-old gelding. Got a pretty good pace up here over these fences that are 1.40 meter in height for this Junior Nations Cup category. Well, for Sweden, Alice Rosenqvist just drops that 1 pole. Sweden with a 0 and a 4 faulting score, so looking pretty strong. As we go on now to Rasmus Åslund. Well, Rasmus Åslund rides Cardigan. And again, a familiar face on these big young rider classes and on the Nations Cup circuit in the past as well. Rasmus jumped at the Pony Europeans in 2021 but has jumped on the Nations Cup at Centaur Park back in 2022, as well as here in Drammen that year as well, dropping just one pole across the 2 rounds. He's working here on the 8. Cardigan is a 12-year-old gelding, one that Rasmus has had since, well, for about a year now. Carefully at the water tray fence, and good to the last as well. It's a score of 8 in total for Rasmus Osland and Cardigan. Back then to Denmark now, to Clara Hanke with Fabulant ASK. Great name. This is Clara's first Nations Cup appearance. And they haven't jumped too many meter 40 classes together. In fact, this is only their second FEI meter 40 class as a combination. Fabulant is a 9-year-old gelding. Well, the score will be 28 in total for Denmark's Clara Hanke, with Fabulant ASK. Means that if that was the drop score, Denmark would finish on a score of 12. So we just wait for our next rider, who will be for Finland. This will be Aida Hamalainen. Sorry, Aida, I hope I've got your name accurate there. Hamalainen with Prada de la Linière. Prada de la Linière has been a ride for Aida since 2022, so they know each other well. This is their first Nations Cup together. Plenty of firsts in today's field. Well, it's been a difficult course so far. We only have one clear at this stage, and Aida Hamalainen is a fair way through this competition. Safely at the final fence, that's been jumping well. She's going to pick up 8. That means that the minimum score for Finland is 8. They have 2 4 faulting scores and 1 8 faulting score. So if they have a clear from the final rider, they'll finish on 8. For Sweden then, it's now the turn of Elvira Abi Eriksson. Elvira rides Pikachu to Elsen. Combination jumped in the Nations Cup at Centaur Park. Part of the 5th place team. They were clear in round 1 there. Didn't quite have the round they wanted in the 2nd round. They also jumped here in Drammen back in September and finished 8th in the Under-25 Grand Prix. Also finished 3rd in the Under-25 1m35 competition. Pikachu de Elsen is a 9-year-old gelding, bred in Belgium and is a former ride of Victoria Almgren of Sweden. Just the 4 for Elvira Abi Eriksson then and Pikachu to Elsen. Means that Sweden remain on that potential score of 4. As it stands, they are at the top of the tree. So we go now back to the home team to Mikkel Frede Nielsen with Anna van de Hiekerleind. But Norway have a score of 4 and a score of 8. Two-time Pony European Championship rider and a medalist from 2021. And gives us one of the best rounds that we have seen today. It's with Anna van de Hiekerleind. It's a clear for Mikkel Frede Nielsen of Norway. Keeps the Norwegian team on a potential score of 4, but 1 rider remains for each team. Well, Laura Sargent for Denmark is not getting off to the start that she wanted. She's at the first fence and we have a refusal, sadly. The ride is Castino Drum Van Het Drukshot Z. Well, Laura Sargent is over the first at the second time of asking. Unfortunately, it will be quite costly for time already. Oh, what a shame. Sadly, it's a refusal at the second fence as well for our Danish competitor. So with that elimination, that means that the Danish team count 1 score of 4, 1 score of 8 and 1 score of 28, giving a total of 40. Moving on then to Finland, to Jonna Ili with Iolita L. Jonna is on the FEI jumping under 25 rankings, ranked 344, but it's a tough list to get on, and certainly as a junior rider, that's very impressive indeed. Jonna won the Junior Grand Prix here last week with the horse It's Me G. Also won the Junior Big Tour competition with Iolita L. This is a 15-year-old mare, and this combination have a lot of wins on their record, whether they are in the junior categories or up to the 2-star classes as well. They also jumped to the Europeans last year. And in 2022 and 2021 as well. Well, it's clear for this extremely talented combination for Finland, the best performance of the Finnish team, in fact. So they will discount the score of 8. They just count 2 4-faulting scores and a clear, and their total for round 1 is 8. Two riders remain in this first round. Ella Lofkist is next with Mexico. Having a little bit of a discussion about the first fence, but they are over. I'm going to have that refusal counted, of course. Oh, what a shame. Ella Locke is doing really well to get over that second fence, and hopefully they'll now settle into things. They scored 8 in each round in our Nations Cup leg at Centaur Park. Mexico is a 14-year-old gelding and is a former ride of David Will. A bit of a problem in the triple as well. Time allowed, of course, is 74 seconds here, so the time is swiftly ticking up, but I think a real learning round for Ella Lofkist. She's done extremely well with this horse to progress on and to keep things going. Score is 21, Certainly a partnership to watch out for in the future. That will be their drop score. Sweden count a clear and 2-4 faulting rounds to finish also on a score of 8. Final rider then for the home team will be Siri Endresen, a name I'm sure many of you will recognise as a regular on the Nations Cup circuit. Also a 3-time European Championship rider. But this is a newer ride at Stenhaga Tulip Tattoo, one that was with Benedikt Sørigstad Endresen until the end of last year. But certainly been going well with Siri up until this point. They were 4th in the Gold Big Tour class here last week. Down to the last then, Siri Endresen comes home with a lovely clear round. 2 clears for the Norwegian team, and they are looking the strongest out of our teams once again. The team total for them will be 4, and so they will lead the way heading into round 2. The placings then go Norway at the top of the tree with a score of 4, Sweden in second with a score of 8, closely matched by Finland with also a score of 8. Denmark then, unfortunately, trailing in 4th place with that score of 40. Well, that brings us to the end of round 1. We do, of course, as ever, have some individual competitors to bring you. The Junior Big Tour class will be starting imminently, and that one has 21 competitors. Following that, we will bring you the second round of the Junior Nations Cup. So I would anticipate in around about 45 minutes time. So expect us back at about 6 o'clock for the second round of the Junior Nations Cup.
sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, and I know.
Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. It's not warm when he's away. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away. it's not at home. When I'm sleeping all alone, I'm used to having I'm a hoe. Then I can touch you through the phone. Even when you drink me cold, I still got your t-shirt on. Haven't seen you for a minute, no. I don't like it not at all. One thing that I know is as hard as I try, I can't face the thought of you not being in my life. Yeah. Regardless of the tears I cry for you today, regardless of the words you think but never say, you're always in my mind somehow. Whether we're up or down, regardless. Oh, baby, why would you wanna make a girl feel so crazy? The things that you do to me, ooh, as if you don't rape me. Baby, don't play me. This ain't no game to me. Regardless of the tears I cry for you today, regardless of the words you think but never say, you're always in my mind somehow. Whether we're up or down, regardless.
Good afternoon and welcome back once again to this to this FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series. We are on to the fifth leg of this Junior Nations Cup Series. And we have 4 teams coming forward here this afternoon. 4 of them who have already tackled this tricky course in round 1. And we come forward now to round 2 in reverse order of placings from the first round. So, with that in mind, Denmark are the first team heading into the ring. Their first rider is Cornelie Katarine Christiansen with Isaac. This combination just picked up 4 penalties in round 1. And she's off to quite a steady start here. Norway on a score of 40 from round 1. So we have a little bit of a gap up to the top-ranked teams. Denmark on 40. Following them we have Sweden and Finland on 8 faults apiece. And then Norway on that score of 4. Tricky jump there for Cornelie Katarine Christiansen. As I say, 1 pole down in round 1, and so what you see on your scoring graphic there is the total score across both rounds is the 12, and in brackets the 8 is what she scored in this round. However, we don't really look at the riders' cumulative scores because we're looking for the best 3 scores per team per round. It doesn't have to be the same riders, it's just the best 3 scores. Uses her body well to balance things there, and the time is 73.03. It's 8 penalties for the first rider out for Denmark, Cornelie Katarine Christiansen. We had that unfortunate elimination early on, and so counted some quite heavy scores to give them that total of 40. Next up we go to Finland, one of the 2 teams on a score of 8. Finland just a little bit slower. And their first rider is Vera Salminen with Pure Joy 3. Again, just 4 faults picked up in round 1. And Finland on that team score of 8. Still clear so far, coming along to the double combination. Just rattled the pole above the water tray there, and down comes the final fence as well. So for Vera Salminen with Pure Joy 3, it's a score of 8. Let's go then to Sweden now. Their first rider is a star of the young Swedish contenders. He is Carl Hugo Westergren with Dagada de Grevis. Clear in round 1. We don't have too many clears yet in this competition, but we have one for Carl Hugo Westergren. 63.71 was his time, so extremely quick as well. Should we need a rider for a jump off, he would certainly be a good one to choose.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart
Double comes up well for them. They are, though, working on the 4 now.
Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night.
Good at the last, though, for Carl Hugo Westergren. Just 1 pole dropped over 2 rounds of jumping. A very solid performance for the young Swedish rider. Dagada de Grevis showing all of his class there around this course, which has been pretty tricky. The course has been designed once again by Bart Vonk and Uni Gustafsson. Fences here are 1.40 meters in height. The final team to start then is our leading team. It's Norway. They're going for a 3rd win of the day. They won the children's category. They won the ponies. Now they are going for it in the junior category as well. First out for them is Ingrid Sondheim Björklund with Stardebans Cornwell. 1 down in round 1. And Norway on a score of just 4 from the first round. Well, unfortunately, we do have a refusal at the double for Ingrid Sondheim Björklund. Ingrid Sondheim Björklund will now have the opportunity to reapproach. Safely through this second time. Very good through the triple there. So this is going to be a little bit costly for time. Time allowed being 74 seconds in this junior class. So it will be a total score of 9, 4 for the refusal, 5 for time for Ingrid Sondheim Björklund of Norway. So we're on to the second riders for the teams now. First up, we have, of course, Denmark, and Malu Therese Mulberg Larsen is their second rider in. Champagne KS is the ride. And Malu picked up 8 in round 1. We have the 4 here for round 2. Well, 1 down for Malu Therese Mulberg Larsen and Champagne KS. Second rider out for Team Denmark. An improvement on her performance from round 1. She dropped 2 poles, now just 1 in round 2. Nella Mera is next up for Finland. Again, just dropped 1 pole in round 1. Second rider out for Finland. We have the score of 8. We would love a clear to keep them on the score from round 1 of 8. Down comes that tricky vertical. It looks like quite an innocuous fence, but heading towards the in gate and coming away from the water jump, it is a pretty difficult fence and has caught out quite a few of our riders. Sails over the final fence well inside the time allowed, nearly 6 seconds inside for Nella Mera. It's 2 down for Finland. That puts Finland on a minimum score of 16. So what I mean by that is even if their 3rd and 4th riders jump clear, they will finish on that score of 16. Alice Rosenkist is up next with Forever de Saint Eloi. Huge jump over the water for Alice Rosenkist and Forever de Saint Eloi. Just 1 down in round 1. The clear would keep Sweden potentially on a score of 8. We're coming down now to this final line. Alice Rosenkist coming home for the clear for Sweden. Gets there! Nothing to add at all. Brilliant performance for this young lady with Forever de Saint Eloi. Keeps Sweden on a score of 8. Nothing to add yet. Next up, we have a rider for Norway once again, our leading team from round 1. Their second rider is Rasmus Osland. Rasmus rides Cardigan, and he is a regular fixture on the Nations Cup circuit. Talented young rider, now with Cardigan. 2 down in round 1. Norway with a score of 9 from their first rider. We're looking for something lower than that from Rasmus. Ah, what a shame. Just a very light touch coming into the triple. Brings down that fence. He's taking a bit of a wider line now to the final line. Working on the 8. Good down to that final fence. Looks behind him a little bit to check that that is still up. And indeed it is, Rasmus. A score of 8. He matches his performance from round 1. Puts Denmark now to a score of 12. So you can see that things can change very, very quickly. Norway with that score of 4 in round 1. Now the minimum score for round 2 is 8. That's if we have 2 more clears. Would be a double clear for Mikael Freden Nilsson and Siri Andersen. Quite a big ask. But we now go forward with the third rider for each of the teams. Well, having something of an issue starting here is Clara Hanke of Denmark with Fabulant ASK. This is a real shame. You can see that the time is ticking up already. But Fabulant ASK is not at all keen to approach that first fence. Now over the fence. And good to see as a learning them over that first fence, but unfortunately with too many circles and too much time taken, it will be elimination for Clara Hanke and Fabulant ASK. Real shame to see their journey today ending like that, but it is an elimination. Means that Denmark go up to a score of 52. Well, on then with Finland. Their third rider is Ada Hamalainen. She knocked down 2 poles in round 1 to get a score of 8. The Finnish team are going to add at least 8, so they're on a running total of 16. And we have another fence down, puts them on to 20. Very swiftly down to the final fence, but it's going to be 2 down for Ada Hamalainen once again. That puts Finland to a team total of 24, and they go into third place. We are just seeing these teams really keep swapping up and down in the placings. Things can change very quickly indeed. So back to Sweden now then, to Elvira Abi Eriksson. It's Pikachu to Elsen is the right. Super talented combination. They just dropped 1 pole in round 1. But these are really ones to watch. It's a great opportunity watching these jumping Nations Cup competitions to see future stars in action. These riders will for sure be competing at the very top of the sport in years to come. They're really at the top of their game now. Good forward riding to the triple bar. Well, Elvira is going to add a little bit for Sweden here. But it's not the end for the team. She'll pick up 8 penalties, but let's say that that's the drop score. If we have that as the drop score, they will go to a score of 12 overall. That would put them neck and neck with Norway for now. And with our third rider for Norway coming up next. Mikkel Freddy Nilsson is getting things underway now for Norway with Anna van Diekerleid. Clear in round 1. If he can clinch a double clear, that would put Norway in a very strong position indeed. Well, down the final line, Mikkel Freddy Nilsson becomes the first person to get a double clear. Yes, he does. That is the standout performance of this competition so far. The only double clear for this young man from Norway, Mikkel Freddy Nilsson, just really pulling it out of the bag for the Norwegian team. You can see some of their fellow competitors watching on the sidelines. Great to see a good few spectators in Drammen for this competition. Laura Sargent is our next rider in and is the final rider for Denmark. Unfortunately, they were eliminated in round 1. They're on a score of 4 here now. Well, Denmark with that elimination from Clara Hanke. They just need a counting score here. It's going to be a bit of a tricky score. Well, for Laura Sargent, it will just be the 4. We'll discount the elimination, of course. The score from round 2 for the Danish team will in fact be 16, as we add the 8, the 4 and another 4, which gives them a total of 56. Well, for Finland, Jonna Ili has withdrawn. And so that is the score that we don't count. The Finnish team pick up 24 from round 2, and their team total is now 32. For Sweden now, it's Ella Lofkist. Picked up 21 in round 1, and the Swedish team currently sit on a score of 12. They have another score of 8, which we haven't yet counted. All depends on Ella's score here. On to 4 now for Ella Lofkist. Still finds the triple a little bit short, but no serious problems there. As the triple is set further back in the course, it really does require a lot of care and time. It's going to be 4 for Ella Lofkist, so we will drop the score of 8, and we count 8 in total from round 2. Gives us a team overall score of 16, and Sweden will finish at worst second. Well, it's going to come down to this young lady, to Siri Andresen, with Stenhager Tulip Tattoo, this 15-year-old Swedish-bred gelding. Partner for Siri since the beginning of this year. Former ride of Benedikt Sarigstad Andresen. And in fact, this horse has competed up to the 5-star level already in its career. Jumped in the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup of Sweden back in 2022 with Benedicta. Also jumped in the Longines EF Nations Cup series a couple of years ago. Jumped double clear in the Drammen leg of that series. Now though, ably partnered by Siri Andresen, and this performance is one that will decide our result today. They were clear in round 1. A clear again would clinch the win for Norway. 1 fence down means we will have a jump off for the win. Very carefully through the triple, just keeps that lovely regular rhythm. All strides to the water goes well. Final fence then, a clear to clinch the win for Norway, and she punches the air. Well, she should. It's the second double clear for the Norwegian team and the only 2 double clears of the competition, both going to the home nation. Norway will add just 8 from round 2, gives them a score of 12, and it is indeed a 3rd win of the day for Team Norway. They are the winners of the children's, the ponies, and now the junior categories. They are unstoppable in Drammen. So just to recap that for you then, first place goes to Team Norway on a score of 12. Second place goes to Team Sweden on a score of 16. Third will go to Finland, their score being 32. And fourth place goes to Denmark, a score of 52 in total for that team. In fact, the score for Denmark is 56, but it doesn't alter their placing. Anyway, we will be bringing you the prize giving ceremony for this class in just a few moments' time, so do stay with us for that. Absolutely outstanding performances from the home teams. You really could not do any better than that, and you can see that the 2 best performances of the afternoon, Mikael Frede Nilsson and Siri Andresen, those 2 the only 2 riders who clinched double clears, both riding for Norway. Well, as I say, the prize giving ceremony will be coming in just a few moments' time. Meanwhile, our final category for you will be the Young Rider Nations Cup, and that's going to kick off at 7 p.m. local time. So 6 p.m. if you are watching in the UK. 3 teams coming forward in the young rider category. They represent Denmark, Sweden and Finland. So no Norwegian team in the young rider category. That means they have won all competitions they have contested today. Pretty outstanding record for them. We also just have 3 young riders for Finland, 4 for Denmark and 4 for Sweden. Plenty to take in and plenty to chat you through in that Young Rider Nations Cup. But, of course, the winners of this junior category are Norway once again. Stay with us, the prize-giving ceremony will be here live on FEI TV in just a few moments' time.
Passing every red light, I know I'm in over my head, a rebel and I don't hide. Remember all the words that you said.
Well, here come your prize winners in this this latest leg of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series, the junior category. Your winners are Team Norway. Once again, 3 wins for that team. Fantastic performances here on home soil in Drammen. They are led by their chef de keep Tom Vidar Gardners, and they're comprised of Ingrid Sante Björklund with Stadebarns Cornwell, Rasmus Osland with Cardigan, Mikael Fred Nilsson with Anna van de Hikkerleid, and Siri Endresen with Stenhager Tulip Tattoo. Those final 2 riders clinching the double clears to get the win for Norway. Second place goes to Team Sweden. They are led by Anna Clara Pettersson, and they are made up of Carl Hugo Westergren with Dagarde de Grevis, Alice Rosenkist with Forever de Saint-Eloi, Elvira Albi Eriksson with Pikachu to Elzen, and Ella Lovkist with Mexico. Your third place team is also now into the ring, and waving the flags on the far side there for Finland. They're led by Markus Backlund with Vera Salminen with Pure Joy 3, Nella Mera with Janina van het Gotteringenveld, Ada Hammerleinen with Prada de la Linière, and Jonna Ili with Iolita L. Prizes will now be presented. Fantastic performances from these riders, and what a pleasure it has been to see them in action. I really do hope that you have enjoyed this competition. We'll leave you to enjoy the rest of this prize giving ceremony, and don't forget we'll be back with the Young Rider Nations Cup at 7 p.m. local time, so that is 6 p.m. if you are watching in the UK. So we just have about 15 minutes currently until we see that competition kick off. Do stay with us. We're back in about 15 minutes time.